Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to the Manifest Africa. It is November the 20th, about 5:50 a.m. I was down yesterday. Unfortunately, the learning curve for eating my gluten free diet didn't bode well with me yesterday. So I was kind of down all day Friday, which is okay. I am jumping right in there. I don't really have definite plans. So I am, just taking it one day at a time. So at least I got a lot of rest. I was up at um 3 a.m. this morning, even though I slept the whole day yesterday. So the Marriott, their food spread here is, I mean, it just looks so delicious. And I got ahead of myself for breakfast yesterday morning. I thought um, that I didn't have any gluten, but I must have had a lot because it was, I had to stay in the whole day. So all I did was sleep basically and let my body adjust to the gluten. I don't have any probiotics with me. The kind that I use need to be refrigerated, so I didn't bring them. And I'm going to try to go find some when I can. So that is that. It is a beautiful morning, as you can see. Beautiful. I'm sitting down because I had took some pictures outside the terrace, and just the other day I had noticed this sticker on the window right here. Show it to you right quick. It says, kindly note that photography is not allowed. I just saw that the other day, and I've been taking all types of pictures and sending them to friends. And the reason being, I'm assuming, I haven't asked yet, is because the driver, when I went to the college, the University of Rwanda, to look for some help, the driver told me that right behind me is the president's compound. So I guess they don't want you taking pictures or videos of the compound. That's what I'm assuming. So, oh, I'm feeling way better this morning. I took some of my vitamins and did a little bit of work contacting the interviewees. I should have probably contacted them yesterday, but I was just down. Like I slept like the gluten just it's puts you down, So I'm just gonna not have to eat anything. Like I said, I am waiting on the hotel main chef for them to give me a list of things that I can have, maybe like little snacks. But the chef did prepare me something one day. It was delicious and it didn't have any gluten because I wasn't tired at all. It was like some rice and some curry sauce or something. And then the other issue is because I'm pescatarian, I don't even hardly eat that much fish. I definitely don't eat any kind of meat. So usually when you say gluten free, their offerings are meat. So I'm just gonna have to stick with some fruits and vegetables. I saw I had a cabbage down there when I went and got some coffee this morning. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna ask them to make me some fried cabbage. I think they use I think they mostly use their cabbage for like salad, but I was like, shoot, I want some fried cabbage. I might try to go down there and cook some up myself. So that's about it. I met a nice gentleman, I shall call him, at the hotel. He offered to take me to Lake Kivu on an outing today. So I'm not sure if, I'm not quite sure yet if we're still going, but I'm looking forward to that. today. I'm trying to get a hold of the interviewees to see if I can interview them this morning before I go out on any kind of outing outside the hotel. I haven't gotten a driver yet or anything like that, so it's really kind of slow motion, which is okay. That's okay. Concerning CBI, commercial business integrated, it's going to be really raw and probably not as professional at first as I would have it to be. But I was just thinking the good thing about that is that any Americans, African Americans coming into Rwanda or any other city in the world, nationality rather, coming into Rwanda, there's going to be a learning curve and they're going to be going through pretty much the same issues that I am. So, I believe that that's okay. It's always good to know that, you're not the first one or the only one stumbling around trying to start a business in another country. So that's okay. I am looking forward to getting my help so that I can start uploading these videos. I'm feeling really like kind of scared or shy. I don't know what to call it, about letting the world into my mind and into my life. So Mr. Big was like, you're just gonna have to be like the Kardashians. You're just gonna have to just put it all out there. I'm just like, oh my gosh. So hopefully I will get more accustomed to it as we go because no one will probably be watching except for my personal friends at first. I just, I don't know. So I never I never really wanted fame or anything like that. I really like to be, like the power player in the back type of person. Those were the type of people that I kind of grew up around with. So, and I left home because, too many people know me. I kind of like, like not, you know, having a lot of attention. So that's, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. Anyway, I kept hearing something when I was asleep yesterday. So I took a picture. One of those big birds had dropped like a green bug on the terrace and was eating that bug. And I took some pictures of them. And then next thing I know, something was flying around in my room. And I was just like, oh, I was so glutened that I couldn't even get up to try to investigate. But I heard it and I was trying to look around. Well, anyway, this morning I saw it in my bathroom on the floor. I guess he succumbed because he couldn't get out, but I don't even know how he got in here. A big green kind of like bug. So I guess the hotel staff, I'll have them come in and they'll probably scoop them up. A big green bug. There's another bug. I don't know if you can see it on the windshield there. They got some big bugs here. It looks like a big fly. And so I'm just wanting to enjoy my terrace a little more. I was thinking, I was like, some people have a balcony and some people have a terrace. Well, I have upgraded myself to a terrace because when I first got here, I was like, ooh, it's a nice balcony, So now I'm saying, oh no, I have to have a terrace. I've manifested a terrace. And that's something. So I was just touching bases this morning because there was no video or anything yesterday. So I'm feeling better, ready to get up and get out of here, just reorganizing my bags. I kind of was rushing and threw everything in there. I am so glad that I overpacked. I'm telling you, I am so glad because I'm just glad I overpacked. I've needed so much stuff that I probably wouldn't have bought if I would have only had the two carry-ons and the two check bags and one carry-on. So I'm glad for that, especially because, I'm doing business and I knew I would need a couple business outfits and, I might get invited somewhere and it's holiday time. So I knew I needed a couple dress up outfits, which that meant you needed shoes. So I'm really glad that I overpacked, So the gentleman that I met, that invited me, well, he actually invited me to lunch first. He seems to think he's a Mr. Big too, so I don't know. I think everybody here thinks they're a Mr. Big. Maybe not my Mr. Big, but I think everyone here thinks they're Mr. Big. So he seems to be very I would say just for my first experience, meeting a man here. He seems to be very arrogant and demanding, and we were having a conversation and I was telling him, I was like, you know, people just don't have to, you have to realize in life that everyone doesn't have to do what you say. And he actually started like choking. It was like he actually started choking, like, and I was like, oh my God. So I don't know who he is or whatever, but he seems to be very private and thinks that or maybe he is, I can't say. He's like, a lot of people know him here and he just doesn't want to go around or something. I don't know, but he's very we had a good conversation. He's very interesting, I shall say. We had a good conversation about African Americans and racism, and he's actually says he doesn't believe that there's racism in the United States, and he thinks that Black people are complaining about nothing. He was like, the real racism is actually in Africa, amongst each other. So unfortunately his cousin was chopped to pieces, he said, over racism by other Black people, and he said he's just never known a racism um like between the African people. So we had a deep conversation about that, and I was just explaining some things to him, and his opinion is that it's more of a social issue. He was like, the higher you go in income, the less racism there is. And in his opinion, he said he was born into a privileged life, had drivers with Bentleys, as a child. And his circles, he just has not, experienced racism, even in the times. I think he said he lives in Spain right now or something, or France, or no, I don't know. But at the times that he has been to the United States, he just did not experience anything. But he did admit, yet he was still in the same circles of privilege, that he was raised in. So, and those were the circles that, he stayed in most of the time. So, I beg to differ, so if he would have probably had a more middle class experience as a Black skinned person in the United States and left out of his comfort zone, then surely maybe the longer you're there, he would have experienced something, as a Black man in the United States. But maybe not, So, and then a lot of that is just like the way I raised my younger son. He was raised predominantly around Caucasians, and Caucasians, he was usually like the only Black person in his class. So he he does not really feel the effects of racism at his young age. So I'm surprised though that this man, being of his age, that he still, feels that way. But as I have been studying, the mind and what you think, and the things that you think, you could bring those things to you. So maybe, if he never thought in his mind that there was a such thing as racism against brown or black skin, then he never had those experiences, because the only thing that was on his mind was that there was no such thing as that. And so he didn't bring that into his life. So I truly believe that, people are capable of, your mind is capable of bringing you what you perceive is out in the world. And so, I explained to him, the institutional mental abuse, maybe not institutional isn't a good word, excuse my word, my vocabulary. But I just explained to him that, the passing down of the abuse, the generational abuse in the African American community, it still affects us as African Americans today. But I could agree that, maybe socially, there are less and less of those types of experiences, but even Oprah Winfrey, I recall a story she was telling about her going in, beginning of her earlier in her career, for going into a high-end store, and the way that they treated her because she was black. So, he has been fortunate, to train his mind and not bring that racist energy, into his life. So I believe, that is totally possible. So we had a great conversation, and I'm hoping that he's a very busy man, a lot of meetings and this and that, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to get to Lake Kivu today. That would be very nice outing. I planned on going out there anyway, but even nicer to go with someone that has a vacation house there, lake house. So that would be even nicer. So thank you for checking in on the backstory and Manifest Africa. And we'll be getting CBI going here. I'm still brainstorming on how to post, what to post where, on these 3 different platforms. I guess it's something different that I haven't seen a lot of other YouTubers do, which is have 3 simultaneous YouTubes going on at the same time. Not to my knowledge anyway, but I'm not on YouTube that much anyway, so how would I know? So please like, share, and subscribe. Definitely subscribe and share. I appreciate you all, and thank you. She came onto the country shores as if she were 100-year storm. Most would heed the warning in time, take shelter, before even catching the enticing smell of the beautiful coming rain. A few godlike men, yet untamed by Mother Nature, would embrace the strong, somehow comforting change of winds. Allow themselves to take up the treasures revealed, left behind her impassioned path. Knowing her omnipresence is in the same nature of themselves, which called unto the storm.